final round, 2 minutes, and we go in reverse order from the way we began. So,
well, now
Anthony, over to you. Why should we vote for you and the Green Party?
now that the party political can of worms has been opened up. So first, I've got a brief message on why you should vote Green, but first 2 issues that we've touched on. Brexit, Remain. A lot of parties here, and yes, very bravely one party arguing for Brexit. The other Brexiteers let themselves down. But we get a lot of people saying, why isn't there one Remain party? Why aren't all these parties working together to stop Brexit? Remain is the only thing we agree with on most of these parties. Lib Dems did a very good job of demolishing the Conservatives' record there. Let us not forget, we talked earlier about the communities, why these communities are angry. It's the crippling austerity agenda of the last decade. Let us not forget the Lib Dems were the enablers and co-architects of that austerity agenda that ripped the heart out of our communities. Then we have change, the new kids on the block. Quite ironic, they don't seem to have a logo on the ballot. I think that might reflect the fact that we don't know any policies. If we do want to get an idea of where their policies are coming from, I think we should look at the people who founded the party, who have left up the Tories and Labour, look at their voting record, again, pro-austerity, anti-equality, anti-human rights. We agree on Remain, we disagree on everything else. Bigger one, the bigger issue than Brexit, the climate change issue. We've talked about the children and the Extinction Rebellion. It's been inspiring because we are in the middle of an emergency and we need urgent action, and it is great that people are telling the politicians what they want to see. So those are the 2 issues. So why should you vote for the Green Party? If you want a party that's tough on Brexit and tough on the causes of Brexit, vote Green. If you want a party that has a real vision of the UK's role in Europe, of Wales's role in Europe, vote Green. If you want a party that has a real, and let's be honest, very long-standing track record of policies and plans to tackle the climate emergency, vote Green. We are the strongest Remain group in the European Parliament, and we are proud of the work that our MEPs have done over the last few decades, working with their sister parties in Green parties in Europe on environmental legislation and protection. So I would say to you, on the 23rd of May, I'd urge you to vote Green, say yes to Europe, yes to investing in our communities, and no to the climate crisis. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Samuel, your final 2 minutes.
Thank you, diolch yn fawr. Yes, I have been a sole and lonely voice advocating Brexit this evening. As you mentioned, the Brexit Party nor UKIP decided to accept the invitation, which is their prerogative. But a local, or a recent poll has polled the Brexit Party at 28%, much larger than any of the parties that are here this evening. So the idea that Brexit is 2016 is a mistake and that people aren't actually in favour of Brexit is just a lie. The reasons that people voted for Brexit, and there are a plethora of them back in 2016, many of those reasons still exist. And to say that we are able to maintain our membership of the EU, we are able to sort the issues that have led to people to vote for Brexit, that is falsehood as well. These people were given an opportunity in 2018 to make their voice heard, and they did, in the largest democratic movement that the country has seen. So at this point, again, I would stress there's no policy that I see that has to be enacted from Brussels first. Many of the policies that we've discussed here have said that that are to the detriment of Wales, and as the can of worms has been opened, I would say lay with the Welsh Government in Cardiff. The agricultural policy, the NHS policy, the fact that funding in Wales is £10 per head more than the English equivalent, and we're unable to spend that money wisely thanks to a Welsh Labour government, that shows that these problems are homegrown and that we are able to fix it, and we don't need the European Union to be there to fix it for us when we've got the opportunity to do it ourselves. So again, I very much might be preaching to a room of those that have made their decision on this already, and I've been a lone voice on Brexit. And I voted to remain in 2016, but if there was a referendum tomorrow, I'd vote to leave, because at no point have I actually sat back and thought, yes, we're going to have membership to ensure that we're able to do A, B, X, Y. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I sit here again saying the European elections, a Conservative MEP, and make sure that when Brexit happens on October 31st, that we're out of the European Union, we have a managed deal, and we're able to do what's very best for local communities and nationally.
Thank you, Samuel. So, Jackie, your 2 minutes starts now.
it is very clear why we've got a lot of the issues that we do, austerity measures 10 years down the line with, yes, Tories and Liberal Democrats in government. And those have, as I said, decimated and hollowed out a lot of the services that we rely on, especially workers and especially unions. Draconian laws, draconian policies that have really affected the quality of life that we have for older people as well as young people. It doesn't matter where you are in the UK, I would argue. Now, the Welsh Government has tried to mitigate some of that, yes, and I say tried because I think it's tried its best in very difficult circumstances. 10 years of having money cut is challenging, they say. But I'm an academic and I weigh evidence, or I have been an academic until December. I'm not a career politician, as you might have seen tonight. I weigh evidence, pro, contra, and sometimes ambivalent. And to me, the evidence is clear that it is better, in my view, to stay within the European Union. However, I do believe that people in the country have a right, a democratic right, to have a say. So I am, and all other 3 candidates for Welsh Labour, are in favour of having the final say on any deal. Even this bad deal that is on the table at the moment. I wouldn't vote for it, but that's a matter for the public. But I do think that we need to have a national conversation about it, and much longer than we did last time, because we didn't really have a conversation, did we? Not long enough. We had the Assembly election and Glastonbury and everything else. The Assembly, yeah. Now, no deal would be an absolute disaster in our view. We can't do that. We shouldn't do that. And therefore, if you vote for the Brexit Party, that's what they're going to do. They want a no deal and a crash out of the European Union. That's going to be disastrous for all of us. So if you vote for, thank you very much, Welsh Labour, you'll have a strong voice that will enhance workers' rights, union rights, equality, a youth plan, green action, LGBTQ plus rights, human rights in general, and it will hopefully stop a no deal and Brexit Party from happening. So thank you very much for your time.
Jill, 2 minutes.
Well, I'm going to stand up for the last word, just so everybody hears me. I've been an MEP for Wales for 20 years now, and I'm very proud of my record in fighting for Wales and being a strong voice for Wales in the European Parliament. Plaid Cymru sits with the Greens, and I just remind you again that on climate change and environmental issues, I have a better record and as good a record as any on those issues. But what we see now is the mess that's been created here in Westminster. And it's more important than ever that we take the future into our own hands. It's more important than ever to have a strong voice for Wales in Europe. And Plaid Cymru can win in this election. And I can promise you that we will put all our efforts into working for Wales's communities on a sustainable future, on creating jobs for our children and grandchildren, supporting industries and communities in all parts of the country. Because Plaid Cymru's mission is to make Wales matter. That's why we exist. And we believe that Wales should have its own voice in Europe, as well as working with our partners to improve our own nation. Because we have a vision and we have the ideas to make that vision a reality. Wales is brimming with potential, and we want to unlock that potential. So have no doubt at all what voting for Plaid Cymru means in this election. It's a vote for the people to decide. It's a vote for a people's vote. And it's a vote for a party united in campaigning to stay within the European Union.
New kids on the block, June, why should we vote for Change UK?
Well, since June 2016, we've actually sailed into a constitutional crisis. And our system has been completely paralysed and our democracy has been eroded. So much much of that is due to the career politicians that sold the lies. We now need to take charge by creating a new party of people that come from a range of walks of life, from different parties, to rebuild and to make the case for change. Now, we may well be criticised for not having a manifesto, but we are a new party. We're, you know, less than 3 weeks old, and in fact we only formed when, you know, earlier this year. And our message is a message of renewal, it's a message of hope, and there are lots of consequences of a political system that's failed. And the biggest issue facing us today is Brexit. So therefore, we have to start with getting the people out to vote for a Remain party, and actually we hope that Change UK will actually make a difference, because it allows politically homeless people to come together. It will give us opportunities to create new ways of doing politics. For example, a citizens' assembly could be a good idea. And I think our biggest problem is that our main parties, it's always been a two-horse race, really, other than in Wales, where we have a number of other parties. As far as Plaid Cymru is concerned, we don't agree in starting and triggering the independence vote right now, because we've got more important things. So we believe in strengthening devolution, so that's a very, very key policy of ours, to bring politics back to local people. So at this election, voters do have an opportunity to vote for something completely new, and to be part of a process where we form new ideas and actually generate sustainability. We need to look at why austerity has been such a problem. Welsh Labour has been in government for some time, but they've really failed to deliver meaningful change. And we have failed to persuade people of the benefits of being part of the European Union. So we must be progressive and sell the benefits.
Thank you. So the final 2 minutes are yours, Sam.
I'll try and keep this short and sweet. My fight in this election is not with fellow Remain parties. I am as upset as every Remainer out there that we couldn't have formed a united front. And that is to the detriment of all Remainers. Our fight has to be with the two Brexit parties that are represented here. Let's not let Labour get away with their candidates, their MPs, saying, "Oh, I'm a Remainer." Well, if you're a Remainer, go and tell your leader, go and tell your National Executive Committee that you're a Remainer. And the best way Labour voters can go and tell people that they are a Remainer is not voting for the Brexit supporting party. Our options at the moment in this country are the Conservative Brexit of shoot me in the foot, or the Labour Brexit of shoot me in the hand. How about just don't shoot me? It's quite simple, and therefore the message from the Welsh Liberal Democrats is quite a simple one. A vote for the Welsh Liberal Democrats is a clear message to stop Brexit. I won't use your vote to justify anything other than that.
There we are. Thank you very much. So, finally, it just remains for me to say diolch yn fawr iawn I chi gyd. Lots of thanks to the organisers, to the Facebook streaming, to our timekeeper, to all of you for coming out and giving your